Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 110 of MC Eternal, where today we're getting back into Gendustry and bees. We're going to look at mutating bees into better versions. We're going to see the slow way to do it first, so you guys can appreciate how awesome the good and fast way is. That's what's up. And hey, look who decided to wake up and start working. Good job, buddy. So you're also going to get some of that and some of this. And a light upgrade will make it so they can work at night, which is cool, right? At night, they would generally stop working, and the light upgrade makes it so that is not the case. Cool. All right. Sweet. All right, so we've got a lot of ignoble stock here. Now, isn't there an upgrade from Gendustry that said something about fixing the genetic something or others? Genetic stabilizer upgrade. Genetic decay minus 100%. Energy consumption plus 100%. Seal, lifespan, cooler, desert, pollen scrubber. All these upgrades. Drier, winter, flowering, light upgrade. What's flowering do? Oh, it just increases the flowering. It makes more flowers. I thought there was something about stabilizing the genetics. Like I saw this, but that just reduces your genetic decay. It doesn't make your bees not ignoble into, I mean, it's not a big deal, not a huge deal per se. So let's do this because we are more interested in this. Let's take the automation upgrade out of here for a minute. Okay, what we're gonna do is once this bee dies, we're gonna take the pristine stock, and that's the one, and we're gonna put the ignoble in here. And I think if we scan this bee at some point, we'll be able to see the problems with him. But we're going to now breed our bees. So we're going to turn meadows plus forest into a common. And you know what? Before we do that, let's do something. Isn't there a thing that makes them more likely to... Sieve, heater... What's the one that makes them more likely to turn into a different one? Pollen scrubber, desert emulation... Cooler, lifespan, seal. I don't think it's genetic stabilizer. Maybe I'm thinking of... It might be the frames I'm thinking of. I'm trying to wonder if Gendustry has a thing that gives you a higher chance of the bees turning into a better version of them. It might just be the lifespan that we want here. So let's do that. Lifespan and light upgrade, and we'll do our pristine and forest. And then they'll go together, and it'll go 25, 50, 75, 100, and then boom, we got a common drone. Sweet, that's what we want. So let's look at how this actually applies, right? So from forestry, we're going to want some kind of the beealyzer, right? The beealyzer, portable analyzer, aka beealyzer. Do we have a carpenter back home? I don't even know. We're gonna find out. Did I ever set up a carpenter? I feel like I probably didn't. Let's get one, shall we? So we're going to want a sturdy and some bronze. Technically, we could have just made one because it makes 4, but yeah. Okay. You're going to chill here for a minute with just a little bit of water in you. And you're also going to get some power. Right? Because you need power. And that looks good. All right, so for the beealyzer, we want 4 tin, diamond, redstone, and glass. Panes, that is. Diamond, redstone, and tin. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. And that should work. Beautiful. The other thing we're going to need is the centrifuge, right? So honeycombs can be centrifuged with the forestry centrifuge, or the centrifugal separator from thermal expansion has pretty much the same effect, and of course it's a thermal machine, so that's cool. So let's make one of these, right? So we're going to need a compass, And we're going to need a machine frame, which of course I could just request from the system, but by the time I search for a machine frame and then ask it to craft and then search back for centrifugal separator, it would have taken longer, in my opinion. So I generally do this, and then a kit, resonant conversion. You should be done with my Bealyzer. Oh boy, that's a lot of brakes. Them's the brakes, kids. Why were you even in 3x3 mode? How did that happen? You know, stuff, things. Fixed. Fixed! Have I used this Magma Crucible or any of this stuff in a while? Probably not. I don't think so. I feel like the answer is no, right? I haven't used a Magma Crucible or a Fluid Transposer in some time, I would say, right? So Magma Crucible, go away. Redstone, I don't even know why you're in there. Fluid Transposer, basic. Okay, cool. You're going to get the centrifugal separator. You're going to get an upgrade kit, and we're going to get some augments for you. Boom. And then we can put our honeycombs in there, and they will process into beeswax and occasionally honey drops, which is a good time. And the honey drops is what we can use to analyze our bees. Cool. So here's the deal. Bees, right, we've got our princess, have 2 species on them. They're active. They have 2 traits for everything, and there's a bunch of different traits, and we're going to cover this pretty briefly. But basically, there's the species, which is the primary one. That's the color that they are, and it also determines a lot of their attributes. You have your primary or your active gene, and then you have your inactive one. The active is what's actually happening, and the inactive is in the background. This emulates and simulates a little bit how real genetics work. So anybody who's a biology major probably recognizes this a little bit. Definitely a simplified version of real genetics, but the basics are there, right? So the attributes on this bee are that its primary attribute is that it's a forest princess. That's why it looks blue. But it does have the inactive attribute of being that dude, right? They have a shorter lifespan. They have one of the slowest productions, so they really don't live very long. They don't produce a lot of resources. Their pollination is pretty slow. They like to pollinate with flowers. And their fertility means how many drones will drop when the queen dies. So the active attribute is 2, the inactive is 3. That means when this princess turns into a queen, they will drop 2 drones, right? Their territory, the range of their effects is average, and they don't have any effects. And then there's a few other attributes. Page 2 tells you information about what they like to live in. So they like normal climate, and they don't really have any tolerance, which means put me in a plains biome. If you put me somewhere else, I ain't gonna work. And same for humidity. They don't like it to be too hot or too humid or too dry. So if you put them in a desert, it would be too dry and it would probably be too hot. Diurnal means they run during the day. Nocturnal means they run at night. So yes, they run during the day. No, they don't run at night. Intolerant flyer means that they work during the rain. They do not. And cave dwelling means that they don't need to see the sky. That is false, so they do need to see the sky. Also, pristine stock means that, you know, it's a good thing. It's possible for them to produce honeycomb. You can see down here the possible mutations that occur. We know that they can mutate into a common drone. We haven't discovered any others. And then here's some, you know, stuff. So that's the thing, right? That's what we got. So let's take this drone, right? And let's go back to our bees area. And maybe we should bring... Maybe we should have our centrifugal separator with us in the bee area. Does that sound like a good time? I feel like it does, right? We could totally have that chilling right here. Right? We could totally have that chilling right here. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so how have you guys been? So you can see that they're still running even though it's nighttime because we have the light upgrade installed. That's good news. And we took the automation upgrade out of you, and we shouldn't have, so let's put you back to work, bud. Cool. And I'm going to give you guys some tick accelerating so you can go do the bees thing. Do the bees thing. Make me some honeycombs. That's what I want, is more and more honeycombs. Because I want to look at the traits of the bees and then determine, you know, how we want to proceed here. I have a pretty good idea, but I want to explain it to you guys so you know where we're at with stuff. Right, so I want my honey drop here. If we look at this, we can see it's forest meadows, right? So we know that about that bee. And we don't have to use honey to analyze him again. However, my common drone here, I'd like to see what's up. So his active attribute is common. That's the mutation that you get when you breed forest and meadows together. So by putting forest and meadows together, you have a chance to get common. And we did, so that's exciting. So what your choice is now is to look at the drones that came out of the apiary when you bred your stuff together, right? So this was a forest meadows, and this guy turned out to be a common forest. Now, we don't know yet, but hopefully we'll find out soon what these other bee attributes are. Honey drops. And we're going to say you are a forest. So now we know that that's a pure forest. That's cool. And you turned out to be a meadows common. So he does have common on him. It's inactive, so we don't see it. But it's there, right? So our best bet, our best chance of getting more common is to combine our forest meadows princess with probably a meadows common hybrid or a common forest hybrid. It doesn't super matter, so we're going to do that, and we're going to see how lucky we get, right? If we're lucky, we might have more common traits, or maybe even we'll get cultivated, which would be even better. Common's pretty important to get, so I'd like a purebred common if we can. So what do we get here? We got a forest princess. Okay. And I would really like more honeycomb, please. Needs more honey. So this is a common meadows. Okay. And we don't know what the other, this is a meadows common. So let's just combine these two, right? We're going to take the perfect princess of forestry. So the forest purebred, and do common meadows, and we'll see if we get any luck with you, right? And this is how you breed bees, right? You basically put two opposing bee species together, and you work towards the one that you're trying to get. So we're aiming for common, right? So we're hoping that we get lucky with common, and see what happens. Wow, you guys did a really bad job. So as we get better bees, we will definitely get more honeycomb, which would be super nice. So how'd my princess turn out here? Meadows forest. Wah, wah, wah. And we can see lots of other drones and whatnot doing stuff. Yay, RNG was in my favor today. I got 4. Look at that. So that's a common forest. That's a forest common, right? So we can see what attributes are on these. A lot of these guys have common on them, which is cool. Right? So frankly, any one of these that have common on them already would be a good combination. So this is Meadows Forest Princess. So you really did not work out too well for me. I'll do common forest. Why not? And we'll see what happens. And let me tell you how great tick accelerating is for this. It's making life a lot easier. Wow, look how many drones we already have. That's crazy. Wow, I feel like we had some pretty bad luck today, didn't we? Let's get these guys made into honey so we can analyze our princess. Just count. Technically, you don't have to analyze them. All right, so forest common. So let's combine you with a, let's do meadows common. And that would probably be a little better chance of getting the bee type that we want. And having a chest, let's even make it a, yeah, we could do iron chest for now. To store some of these extra dudes might not be a bad idea. All right, how'd you make out? We got a common something. So what did princess turn into be? Perfect common, common. That is exciting. That is cool. So we are well on our way to having a good common type bee. And we'll look into automating all the things here shortly, right? For now, I want to just get like maybe common bees going and kind of go from there. So that's cool. And you guys were unknowns. So let's see, what do I got here? Forest common. We can just put anything that's common. Doesn't really matter. And we'll just hope that we get a good princess and drone combination. We'll see how lucky we get, right? So we lost the purebred princess on that. It's forest common. And we don't have enough. Oh, we do. We do. Common drone that time, right? I feel like there was like a thing you could do in Gendustry to increase your odds of mutation. I don't know what that thing was. So forest common forest. Don't know because need. Come on, buddy. Give me some more honey drops. And this is how you try to figure out the best bee to breed, right? Because this drone is a common, and this drone is a common forest, so your better chance of using the common drone of getting a purebred common drop out of it, right? So there you go, 25. And we're doing better. We're getting somewhere. So still forest common forest, common, that's good. So let's do the forest common and common. Let's take you guys and get some more honeycomb. Thank you for bad RNG. Wow, that is terrible. All right, so how do we make out here? Forest common and forest common. I'll be back once I get a good bee luck thing. All right, this time at least they're all gray in color. So common forest, common, and also common. So I'm gonna hang on to this common drone. That's an important one. And we're gonna breed together the common forest princess with the common drone. And we will hope against hope that we get a common princess. Oh, we got a cultivated princess. Was not part of my plan, but that's okay-ish. Not exactly what I wanted. You can see why tick accelerating is important for this part, right? All right, guys, so we got the foundation of stuff going here, right? How about we wrap up the episode? We'll come back next time and continue and start breeding bees into common and eventually cultivated. Sound like a plan? And that'll help us along our way to get towards career bees. So the foundations are here. Let's continue next episode. For now, Del20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy. So what did I get here? I got 2 purebred commons. Not exactly what I wanted. And a cultivated forest. You are killing me, Smalls. I love that I have a cultivated princess, but that is not what I wanted here. So what if we got another princess? Right? An ignoble stock princess, right? And we combined the meadows with one of the purebred commons. So you're also a purebred common, right? But you're a little different. Let's do that. And then hopefully, we won't probably get a purebred princess out of it, but if we did, we'd be super lucky. How did we get cultivated again? That is just not at all what I was expecting. Cultivated common. So let's combine you with a purebred common. Right? And now we're talking. Common princess. That's what's up. And common drone. So I don't super care what the other attributes of these guys are, but I might actually, because they might have some cultivated on them. He does. And he's a diligent. Oh my goodness, another Dree. You are just doing more things than I wanted you to do. All right, so that's cool. So you're going to now be a purebred common factory, right? So you're making common princess, common drone. There is now no chance that we won't get purebred commons every time. So if we throw the automation upgrade in there, we'll see that's exactly what happened, right? Now we might get some varying other attributes on our bees, but generally speaking, they will always be common, which is good, which is cool, right? I like that. That is awesome. Sweet. So once you're done with your tick accelerating fun, let's get our cultivated bees going here, because that would be very nice. Because cultivated bees are really where the fun begins, right? And we'll see that in just a minute here. So let's have another chest for our purebred bees. You're going to sit next to this one. You're going to do no outputs, by the way. Thank you. Okay. And you guys are all purebred bees, right? You're all purebred cultivateds? Yeah, you guys can go in there. And then I'm just gonna put these guys in here as like a mix, right? So you're common diligent, you're common cultivated. So this is a cultivated forest, and this is a common cultivated. So we're gonna hope that we get a little luck with breeding these guys into a purebred cultivated. See how much honeycomb we produced from that? That was cool, right? Hey, purebred cultivated princess, cultivated forest. All right, let's combine them again. They also have a shorter lifespan, which is also usually good news. Oh, we're out of honey again. Give me all the honeys. Cultivated, cultivated, and cultivated, cultivated. Perfect. That is really good and was relatively lucky. So now we can automation upgrade you because you're a purebred cultivated. It means that we will always get cultivated drones and princesses. We don't have to worry so much about much of anything. And eventually they'll probably stabilize into a single set of attributes and they'll be able to stack again. So you guys are a little bit wonky-ish, right? But these guys are going to be pretty much always auto-inserted here. See how much honeycomb I get from these guys? Let me show you why. I'm going to snag one of these drones. If we analyze them, we will see that the production is set to fast. So cultivated bees are one of the first ones that are really useful to get because A, they open up branches into a lot more genetic species, and then also B, they have fast production. Fast production generally just means that we have some really good stuff going on. In other words, producing lots of honeycomb, right? So see how much more honeycomb we're getting from our cultivated bees? That's what's up, right? By comparison to these slowpokes over here. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So I'm excited to have cultivated purebred because that's really good times right there. Very, very good times. All right, so now with purebred cultivated, I think it's time to look into genetic manipulation because one of the important things to do here is to manipulate the genes. And for that, we are going to need some more gendustry stuff. Now, I don't know if we need to get beyond where we're at right now. I don't know if we need to get in royal jelly before we do this, right? But at this point, we should be able to make the mutagen producer, and a few other things: protein liquefier, DNA extractor, genetic transposer, genetic replicator. These machines will allow us to manipulate the genes of our stuff. So we're going to want a mutagen producer, and what I'll probably wind up doing is just saying, you know, hey, make a mutagen producer in here. I'm going to teach you all this right here. And we'll talk about all these different machines. But basically, all those genetic traits I talked about a minute ago, yeah, we're going to want to do more with that. And it's going to be a good time for everyone. So the advanced mutatron we're going to want, right, that's what we just did, advanced mutatron, yeah. Genetic imprinter, I think we're going to want one of these. Genetic sampler, I forget what some of these blocks do, if I'm being totally honest with you. Protein liquefier, DNA extractor, I don't know which of these we want. I don't know that we want protein liquefiers, but maybe we'll get one just for fun. Yeah? And you guys can come down here and get added to the how do I make this list. Cool. Beautiful. Now I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that a few of these prerequisites, like I don't think we did the mutagen tank as a thing. We also want to know how to make genetics labware. We're also going to want to know how to make this thing and this guy. And wasn't there a green one? I feel like there was a green one. Yeah, genetics processor. Is that the one I already got? Okay, now we're cool. So let's get a couple of each of these machines, right? And I'm gonna have to remember how they work, because like I said, being honest, don't super remember which one's which, but I have a rough idea, right? So I know for sure, if we're looking at gendustry, we're gonna want a mutagen producer. That's important, right? We're also going to want an advanced mutatron. That's important. And I think these can actually be used to selectively breed my bees. So I made it a point to show you guys the slow way to breed bees. I think we can use these to selectively breed them a little bit more, right? I'm going to get some genetics labware, which is pretty cheap and easiest to get. So there's your mutagen producer. We have the advanced guy on its way. What else do you think we might need here? Genetic imprinter, genetic sampler. I think genetic sampler and imprinter is a thing we're going to want. Protein liquefier and DNA extractor. I forget what these do. All right, I kind of remember how these things work. So what I'm going to do is have a bunch of machines over here. So first off, let's get some power going on. Right? And we're going to have ultimate. Hey. Ultimate universal cables, please. Kind of missed anyway, didn't we? Really? Really missed. And we might, you know, wind up having more of this, right? Are you guys working? Let's go. There we go. So you guys come out to here, and then you're gonna come up there. So first one, mutagen producer. This is really easy. You just give it blocks of redstone, and in theory it receives power. Oh, we missed a corner. Haha. There's your problem. And it will turn the redstone into mutagen. If you give it just redstone, I think it's a little bit quicker. I think giving it blocks of redstone takes about 9 times longer to process, but yeah, good times all around. So that'll happen. And as you can see, we're getting mutagen. 100 millibuckets per redstone dust, or 900 millibuckets per redstone block. Cool. The next piece of labware, or equipment that we're gonna want. Do I not have any more glass? I should have stuck with my thickened glass. I should have a stack on me for when I accidentally break things. Is going to be this guy, the Advanced Mutatron. Super duper useful block. And as you can see, the mutagen from the adjacent block is coming in here. So what's the deal with this guy? You know what's cool about him? Is you get to selectively breed your bees. So rather than waiting for bee breeding to occur like we did in here, right? Purposely made it a point to show you guys how slow and randomized it is. This is basically the cheater's approach to bee breeding. So if we had, for example, we had a princess, like a Meadows princess, and we wanted to combine it with a forest drone. Let's grab one of the forest drones in here. Sure. Okay. You can put these two together, and it'll say, hey, they can turn into a common. You want to do that? And you click the button, and it's like, okie dokie, I'll do it. You have to give it some genetics labware, by the way. Boop. Well, that was easy. No RNG, no waiting, just happens. The basic Mutatron will randomly combine them into different species. The advanced Mutatron lets you pick which species you combine to. Now, the deal is you get a queen out of this. So you have to put it into an apiary to have it die off, right? So it might not be a bad idea to have a dedicated apiary here. And now that we have the apiary, let's get the 4 lifespan upgrades. And that should be nice and quick, lickety-split. And then what we'll have is this guy, and then we can use time in a bottle. Now, common drones sometimes last a little while, but look, we got our common drones. Sweet. So now we could combine, for example, common princess, and our purebred common drones can go in there. We can take, for example, normally we would say common plus forest equals cultivated, but we already have cultivated. So let's take one of these guys. Now, is this a pure cultivated? It is. Do you stack with them? No, you don't. So let's put you up there with the junky ones. You should be in here with the purebreds, and so should you, right? And all these bees are going to be useful, I promise. All of them. All of them will have a use for me. So let's combine that common princess with a cultivated drone, and now this is where bees start to branch. So if we combined these in an apiary, we would have had a chance to get diligent, or maybe noble, or maybe student. Luckily, the advanced Mutatron lets us pick, right? Which is super cool. So what I'm thinking is, I mean, students are nice. I mean, that's career bees. That's where we wanted to get to. But I think diligent is what we want. One of the advanced resources from bees is gonna be the production upgrade, and for that we need royal jelly. Royal jelly comes from imperial bees only, or potentially business and junk seller. And imperial bees is a combination of majestic and noble. Okay, and majestic is a cultivated and noble. So noble is where we want to go. So if we get a noble bee, we will be able to quickly breed our way up to the imperial, which will be the fancy ones, right? So we let that go in there. We quickly advance the industrial apiary. See, we're getting a different kind of comb here, by the way, which was cool. There's a lot of different combs. There's a lot of different resources. We'll kind of check that out as we go along, right? But now I combine that with a cultivated, and that'll get us a majestic. Okay. And then the majestic goes in here. And we'll quickly do his bee work. And we have now a majestic and noble equals imperial. How cool is that? So that's how you can easily advance through bees, right? Super slow and painful if you're not, you know. Oh, also imperial bees give you a regeneration area of effect. Isn't that neat? And hey, look, we got royal jelly for the first time. Hooray! Imperial. Yay! And it might not be a bad idea to have a, not a lifespan, but an automation upgrade here. Just cuz. Alright guys, so we've got a pretty good setup going on now. We've now got mutagen, which will make breeding bees a heck of a lot better. Like a heck of a lot better. Next episode, I think we're going to look at extracting DNA from bees and genetic attributes, and imprinting them on other bees. And then we're also going to get into career bees and see what kind of fun things we can do between career bees and some of the other stuff. For now, though, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Don't forget, world download available. Take it easy.